This is actually the first time that my arms ever cramped up on me. But I'm sure that that's the nature of the beast at this point. Is this on? Why? Michael. Yep. Yes, he will.
That's a lot of minutes.
It's a lot of minutes.
You want a Red Bull on that too.
Is our live working?
I think so.
Okay.
Plug it.
It looks like it is. Oh, you're just checking the live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard if anything's got better or anything like that.
Nobody has said anything about not being able to see the lives or anything.
Well, we changed the internet connection, so we'll open that.
It's kinda- Yeah, kind of helpful. Yeah. Oh yes. Is this one packet?
I just blindly passed it.
Do you have a copy? Oh, okay. Everybody's got a copy. Oh, these are your copies. Oh, gotcha.
We all ready? Call to order the regular council meeting for the town of Evansville. May I have roll call, please? Here.
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 To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 1, consent agenda. Approval of the minutes for January 23rd, 2023. Approval of business licenses, Apex Plumbing, Highwire Energy, LLC, and U-Haul Company of Wyoming. And approval of bills. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 2, David, I'm going to screw this up, Holsheiser, Director of YCC. I do not, we have the packets I printed out. Sorry, we do have the TV up, but we haven't got the computer connected yet. We can, I don't know. Oh, we don't have a cable prepared yet either. Sorry about that.
I appreciate it. Please think up here as well. Just want to introduce myself, Mayor Edwards, council members. Thank you very much for allowing us to come and speak to you on behalf of the Youth Crisis Center. My name is Dave Holsheim. I'm the executive director at the Youth Crisis Center. And I'm looking at this as your chief of finance program at the Youth Crisis Center. So, should be able to answer any other questions. This is we kind of go through the packet of information we have, and just want to kind of go through a little bit of what the Youth Crisis Center actually is and what type of operations that we do. First, we almost are an actual youth crisis shelter that we offer kids for crisis wing. We also have a group home that we have up to 10 licensed beds, and currently we also have another group home that is under use that we'll usually get from CWCC. And we'll go over that here in just a little bit. But please feel free if you have any questions, just ask me anytime and go through the material. Does everyone have a packet?
I think Where's Sharon?
Okay. Basically, on the third part of that packet, you'll actually see our facility. You'll see that we have a crisis shelter. It's basically in the formation of a T or a cross. One of our wings is a crisis shelter. The other is our group home. What we call our Day Resource Center is actually the unused wing that we're looking to partner with CWCC in regards to a new program. And we're looking for funding for that here in a few different areas. But that is kind of maybe a year or two down the road. And then our administration offices are part of our youth crisis shelter. If anyone hasn't been to the youth crisis center, I would certainly encourage you to come down, see us, take a tour. We'd love to show you what we're all about, and an opportunity to kind of see what we do firsthand. It is a truly a great facility and a much needed facility in our community. So as you can look at the pictures that we have, one of them is our actual crisis shelter. It has 12 bedrooms in it. We're actually licensed for 10, but based upon any given point in time, we can ask for variance for up to 12 beds, and that usually happens frequently, and that's through the Department of Family Services. So we are a fully licensed facility through the Department of Family Services. Not only do we have to follow along with a lot of the child care rules and regulations, but we have separate regulations that we have to follow from specifically crisis shelters and group homes and the facility. So we are fully licensed. They come through. We're licensed every 2 years, but they come through frequently in order to view our facility. The picture in the top right is going to be our group home for longer-term residents. We see them for anywhere from 3 months to some are there for 9 months, just depending on how they work through the program. If you'll see off to the top left, that's one of the bedrooms. All of our kiddos get their own bedroom when they're at OCC. We feel that that's more appropriate to kind of give them their own privacy, opportunity to kind of relax and breathe and have some of these kids don't have rooms of their own at home, so it makes it really tough. We are in the process of doing some painting on our ceilings, some creative artwork, and that's for community and citizens to come in and help us create like a kind of an interesting feel for the kids, something that they just don't stare at, blue, white ceiling, pretty much walls. We're going to be putting up some plexiglass on the walls so that kids can put up posters and artwork. And the reason for the plexiglass is just to help prevent damage to the walls. But we can't allow kids to have packs and things in the room, so we want to give them a platform where they can put up their art and things like that. So that's a recent decision that we made, and we're going to be moving forward with that probably in the very near future. One of the things that we do have is a full-service kitchen. We serve approximately 8,000 to 9,000 meals a year, so that includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and all snacks. We believe at the Youth Crisis Center that food is kind of the foundation for healing for kids. I know Justin Scott on the council here. I'm in Taiwan, so I've been to with Mike a lot of years, and I know Leah back here for a while. But it's tough when you go into a home and you see kiddos, like you're looking in the refrigerator and you just won't see any food or very little bit of food. It really tears you apart. So one of the things that the Youth Crisis Center is one of the foundations is the food program. So when kids come to us, they get really good nutritional food. We don't prevent them in seconds, so they can get theirs. We are the benefactor of the 4-H livestock sale. As part of that, yearly we end up getting between 8 to 10 cows, maybe 6 to 8 pigs, with the processing, including all that will be donated to our center. So these kids really do get a very good food process, and that's a foundation of what we do. It really kind of makes them feel comfortable in the facility. The kind of middle picture that you see there, that is our additional wing, or Day Resource Center. That one we're hoping to turn into what we call the Pathway Home Program, and we'll talk a little bit about that here in just a minute. The left-hand side on the lower left, that's our administrative wing, where we have a conference room, various offices, including our finance department, our operations department, also our therapists in there. As we look at our current model for our at-risk youth programs, YCC truly began in 1982, but we weren't incorporated as a 501c3 until 1984. So we've been in existence for almost 40 years. We originally started out in a model of a juvenile justice model where kids would come to us, it'd be more stringent, a lot more stringent rules, more focused on the discipline aspect of it. But in the last 5 years, we've moved to a model of clinical mental health substance abuse treatment model for kids, moving away from that juvenile justice model because research has shown that the juvenile justice model just does not benefit kids. The mental health, the clinical health is, and we've made that movement and really solidified that in June 2021, where we completely did away with the model of the juvenile justice model. So we use what we call strength-based practices, trauma-informed care. That is kind of the base of operations for how our youth workers interact, our counselors interact, case managers interact with kids. It's really to give the kids the wins at every time in the day that we can. Any type of negative interaction or any type of consequence is a very quick, immediate, short-term consequence, and then we begin to refocus on the strengths of that particular youth, the great things that we're doing in their lives to improve. So if you come into our center, you'll see a lot of positive things. We can encourage kids to continue that positive thinking because really, a lot of times these kids don't have that. And you'd be surprised to see the number of kids that come into our center and never heard someone say thank you, someone say please. It's just, it's sad sometimes. So we really do believe very much in the programming and what we're doing for all the communities in the Trumbull County. Since our inception in 1984, we have received funding from a few different government entities, but Evansville is not one of those entities that historically provided funding for licensing. This kind of in official copy of licensing rights. But as part of our commitment to the youth of our facility and our commitment to that mental health clinical model, we do have a full-time youth therapist that is on staff. We have 2 case managers, 2 full support functions for our crisis shelter that we home as well. So we've really made that commitment. And I would say probably in the next year, it's very possible that we will continue to that council, just simply because we need the support. In our community, we are seeing lots of kiddos postpone treatment options because they can't find a treatment counselor or a social worker or a therapist just because the wait time is too long or there's not enough dollars. We're seeing a lot of providers that are retiring in this field and we're not keeping acting or recruiting more providers in the factory. So that is a struggle, but we have made a commitment because we increase one therapists and we really want to go more therapists. So the future for us here at the Youth Crisis Center is we want to continue to expand with this crisis to at-risk youth. And we are seeing a gap of therapy services both in the private sector and also in some other organizations such as the BPI. Oftentimes, the wait time of the BPI inpatient treatment in our state and out of state has taken a long time. An example of that is St. Joe's, which is in Torrington. Their wait list is about 4 months long for the evening to go to inpatient treatment, which means that those kids are with us for a longer time, or they're still at IJDC, or they're still at school. And that, a lot of times, and if they're at home, that can be difficult, especially for seeing issues with substance abuse. And what I would say about the substance abuse in the is we're seeing it at a much younger age. Kiddos we're seeing it in 11, 12 years old now. But they do have substance abuse. Not only are they having sometimes have their own mental abuse with their mental health issues, but they're still having the substance abuse, and then you pair that on top of that with the parents as well, the family members, or other someone who just kind of continue to go on these things. And we really need to put more effort into one of the things that we'd love to do in the next year or two is start what we call the Pathway Home Program. This is an innovation type program with partnering with CEDA, UCC, and Central Home Counseling Center. We have an unused need, and part of what we'd like to do is give inpatient treatment kiddos an opportunity to come back into our community without dropping immediately back into homes. if we put them back in homes, I think which is what's happening now, they're less successful at, I mean, for people wishing to rent their home to be rented. So, we're trying to come up with a program that basically bridges that, allows them to come to our facility and have that really stringent and high level counseling, clinical service, medication management, CWCC, all while we get the parents involved and get them moving in the right direction. But slowly we get this back to the schools and homes and we're ready to fully successfully put out the program at the house. So that is something that we're really looking forward to doing in the near future. We're working with the Department of Health to try and find funding sources for that. They see very much value in that, so they want to help us talk about that. One of our other 5-year plans is to look to expand our education, build on building behind us, which will allow us to have more clinical services, more clinical space, office space, space for group therapy, family therapy, and group therapy. So we really do want to grow as an organization, and we are going to say that. One of the current needs that we have is that, being the only crisis shelter and emergency shelter in Central Wyoming, funding has always been an issue. So I'm just going to be completely honest when we say that our community is seeing what we call the wonderful food. We're starting to see the level of donation provided by high affluent philanthropy folks starting to do it. That one site is to be taken down to some last year and some of the funding. And again, that just falls back to what we call community food. So we really are looking for opportunities to include more diverse people funding. And it is important. You'll have parents from your community, law enforcement from your community, they'll bring kiddos to our facilities, what we call parent placements, law enforcement placements, DFS placements. So we take all of those kiddos from the family as well. And since 2021, we have seen pretty dramatic uptick in our facility. It's quite possible that that's due to professional lockdowns and some involved. Very thankful our state didn't completely lock down like the other states did on the kids in schools. They're seeing significant issues. But we are lucky in lockdowns long, but that did have very dramatic. So we see kids from all over the county, including Evansville. That's one of the reasons we're here today is to touch base with you about 6 months tracking that we did for not only for the town of Evansville, but the town of Dallas as well. We presented to them this morning at their group. So what I wanted to kind of lay out was, if you'll see it says 6 months tracking on the form. So from July 1 to December 31st, parent placements from the town of Evansville were at 17. So what we did was we just rotated, we multiplied that by 2, so that we have 4 years worth. So that's 34 per year. The Evansville Police Department placements, we had 3. So in a year's time, you estimate 6 per year. So when you bring those kiddos to us, what does that include for licensing provide for those kids? All meals, all snacks, case management services, and that is huge. That case management service is super important because it really gives the parents and the field an opportunity for a safety plan, health plan, a treatment plan. Those case management is very good for helping those families have those resources. We do life skills training, mental health, substance abuse stabilization, we transport kids to school. Most of the kids in our facility, even if they are fit in the crisis shelter, we transport them to school so that they're still in school. If they can't go to school, then the short-term school district actually is our center, and we have those instructions and so we can pick up kids there. We do medical appointments, we have 24-hour on-site care and monitoring, and medication management. Educational support is huge. Our youth workers, our case managers, sit down with kids, help them with their homework, help them through their case management plans, their life skills. So we do really help them out in all aspects of it. We provide a caring environment for them. Again, we've moved away from that juvenile justice model to a more supportive, strength-based model. And that's really where we find a lot of value in the growth of these students, by giving the ones that really support them. We are fully licensed DFS facility. Recently, there was another facility that opened up there. We were closed in his house. Unlike when we are fully licensed with DFS. We have been so since our inception. We moved from first to the license procedures and follow the regulations by the state. We have a very robust policy procedure manual. And the other part of it is that we have a direct, or we have board of directors that offer direct oversight. So that is another avenue that can entrust us with, if you bring to assessment of the organization, right? And we'll do our operations correctly. So with that, I kind of want to get into the crux of why we're here. We're outlining out a little bit about what we do, but currently the cost for youth in our crisis shelter is sitting at $229 per day. It's a little bit more than that when you have the change. And when you look at our length of stay for our kids just at our crisis shelter, not our group homes, we're at 8.5 days. So that's quite a fair amount of time to get kids stabilized, get them back on track, and get good home from the return home. With their average age of about 14, 15 years. So when we look at the total cost of all of that, if we were to have a parent placement with all the numbers put together, it would potentially cost the town of Edmonton about $79,000 per year to have that number approved in our facility. There's a lot of good news from what we're asking in terms of funding request is that we do have a contract with the Department of Human Services for our crisis shelter. That gives us $114 per day per kid, and that goes per bed that we have. So what we're really trying to do is leverage the state money to help give the request to those the best opportunity to be successful. So we feel that, so if you take that $114 out of it, you'd be looking at a remaining of about $115 per day per kid. And what we set out to do as an organization is we want to be as respectful of the town councils as we can. So we'll do our absolute best to fundraise as much as we can in order to offset those costs. So in the end, we're actually asking in the form of request for, if possible, a guaranteed grant to the town of Edinburgh, really grant to up to $20,000 for us with our operations. If we will, to properly maintain operations of these centers from to go through current placements and development as well. That would leave the youth crisis group with raising about $19,000 a year on our end of it. So, in terms of what we provide, we have stated in the meeting robust fundraising and grant writing. But again, we're starting to see some of those opportunities when they're looking at some development. So, with that, that kind of ends our presentation. I very much appreciate your time. It is a very important thing for our community. If you have provided these services in your own community, it can be extremely difficult and the cost of gas quite good. We did run through this a little bit with the city of Catherine in August when we were looking at removing nonprofit grants, and we talked through extensively about what this can mean to their community as well. With everyone pooling as much money as they can into these nonprofit